Hi folks, welcome back to the Carver's Wood Shop. This is Arlene once again. I got done doing all the burning on this bird, as you can see. Everything's done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take some white, we're going to start painting this, and we're just going to do a few coats of white. I just did a very small amount of white over here. Let me turn that off. And it's very hard to cover, so we're going to do what's called a wash, a mix of water and our acrylic white paint, straight white paint. Okay, so we're going to just go over the whole thing. It's going to be sucked into the wood a few times, and that's okay. The one thing you want to have with you, if you want to make this project go a little quicker, is you want to have a hair dryer with you, which I have next to me now. And I know this looks like we're not going to get anywhere fast with this, and that's fine. What we want to do is just water down that white as much as possible, because if you don't, you're going to clog up all these little lines that you created with the wood burner. So, and that's why we're doing what's called a wash. And we may have to put maybe 4 or 5 or 6 coats of this white to cover these lines. But meanwhile, we'll also start putting some color into it. So I just wanted to show you really quickly how this works. It's not difficult. You just keep adding water but you don't want it too thick, because it will end up clogging those lines. And that's part of the secret to give it a nice look, finished look. It won't have a real glossy look to it, like a ceramic look to it. Okay, see how it's being soaked in? You barely can tell. I can tell a little bit more here than what's on the camera, but we just want to keep mixing it and going over it. Okay, just like so. That's fine. Okay, so we're going to do the whole bird this way. And then later on we're going to get some red and burnt umber. We're going to mix that, similar to what we used for the Santas. If you were doing a full bird, this is really how we do our birds, folks. It's not much different. It's just how you shape the body, and this is really a miniature of what it's like to have do the other songbirds when you carve them. So I don't know how much I'll be able to get done here. I've been called back to work for tonight and tomorrow, so I might not be able to get everything done until later this weekend. So bear with me. Okay, I'll do my best to try to get this done for you, but I know some of you need to catch up anyway, so I'm not going to go crazy trying to finish this too quickly for you guys. Okay, we're going to go back to the head here. We're just going to keep going. Now, some people ask if I seal my wood. I don't. Maybe I should. I've never done it in all the years that I've carved. Some carvers will put a small sealer, like a matte finish sealer over top. Some of them will do it right away before they even paint it. But that prevents it from being sucked in like it is now, being soaked into the wood like you see it. But I'm not a fan of sealing things. I have some projects, like this one was done without sealing anything, okay? And this one was done, many years ago, in 20 years ago. So, and it's not cracked or anything. So, it can be done. Now, this might seem very tedious to some people that don't like to paint like me, and I think you guys know that by now, that I'm not a fan of painting. I'm not, but at the same time, I know it's a very important aspect of carving if you want to do any kind of songbirds and that. So this is what we're going to do, and once we get this done, we're going to take a hair dryer, and I'll show you what to do. Okay, this is pretty well covered with the first load here, and I'm going to put about 5 or 6 coats of white on here, and I'm going to come back and show you what it's like. Now I just have a normal hair dryer here. And you keep doing this until you feel that it's not damp anymore. You may want to put it on a lower one. You don't want to burn the wood either, but you keep going until you feel it's dry, just like you do, like you see it here, okay? Alright, and then we're going to do another coat, okay? Get some more water out of the thing, mix it up a little bit more. We're going to do another coat. See, it's just barely white. It's getting white, but it's barely white. Now we'll do another coat on here, okay? And we'll start building. And that's how a lot of the feathers, you don't lose all that work you put in with the burning when you do this, okay? So that's the only reason we're doing this. Otherwise I would put straight paint on this. And plus it doesn't give it the glossy look, okay? So sometimes if you get this wood hot enough, it will almost dry instantly when you put it on. Not instantly, but quicker anyway. But, okay, so see how we're getting that white now? You see how it's starting to build? And that's exactly what we want. You don't want to have too much paint. And I keep mixing some in with this, so okay, just like that. Alright, and so we got the head done again. Go over the bill. The bill is going to be pretty straight paint anyway. Now you want to make sure you get all your edges, okay? You spend a lot of time working on them. Just make sure you try to get those. Okay, now I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to hang on to it like this, which won't hurt it. But when we start doing the other stuff, you'll have to start switching it around. And then when you're done with this, folks, keep drying it. Do about 4 or 5 until you don't see the brown lines anymore. And then I'll come back and show you what it should look somewhat like this, but a little bit whiter. Okay, and don't worry about going over that eye. We're going to clean that eye up at the very end, so that's going to be covered anyway. Okay, so enjoy, keep going at it, and take your time. There's no hurry, and we'll be back.